Trying new things is hard, but growth is an essential part of life. If you're looking to take your next big step or change your direction, but don't know where to begin or how to even start, seeing how someone else successfully managed this in their life could be priceless. Shifting Gears, the ultimate roadmap to crafting your legendary brewery or restaurant, a new book by Jake Losey, might be exactly what you're looking for. See, Jake and his wife Kaylee opened a brewery back in 2019 with a dream and pretty much no experience. I probably don't need to tell you this, but COVID struck shortly thereafter. Not an ideal situation for a brand new business of any kind, let alone one that would be literally forced to close its doors. Despite that setback and many more, they not only managed to stay open, now they are thriving, and Presidential Brewing Company has become the cool neighborhood hangout they both envisioned it would be, and also one of my favorite places. Jake's book is meant to help other aspiring entrepreneurs achieve the same heights that their customers and amazing staff have driven them to. He hopes that he can help fast forward the amount of time it takes you to build an idea from neutral, great idea, no movement, to legendary, a thriving brewery or restaurant. In addition to sharing the practical steps that have been proven to help build his dream, this book is also chock full of stories about the inner workings of the brewery. You will get to learn an in-depth background of how they got started and how they have continued to thrive and grow. Shifting Gears, the ultimate roadmap to crafting your legendary brewery or restaurant, is available right now on Amazon in paperback or on your Kindle. Pick up a copy today, and when you visit Presidential, which you definitely should, tell the folks there I sent you. And now, on with the show. This is Lessons We Forgot, and this episode is called Waterfalls. I think TLC was full of it when they recommended that we don't go chasing waterfalls. Chasing waterfalls is a wonderful way to spend the day, especially if you want to be outdoors, experience a little nature, and see something truly beautiful. My wife and I do it all the time in the summer, and I couldn't recommend it more highly. I know. TLC were warning us not to take unnecessary risks that might put us in danger down the road. I totally understand the metaphor, and I promise I'll continue to do my best to not succumb to any stereotypically 90s self-destructive behaviors. I'm just saying, when it comes to waterfalls, the risks are totally worth the rewards. We take a lot of risks as teachers, too. Usually we aren't in any physical danger, but we are constantly at risk emotionally. We really have to put ourselves out there as teachers. Even though the kids we teach are just that, they're kids. It still sucks to get rejected, though. So when we experiment with a new procedure, when we try a new style of lesson, or even if we tell a new joke, we are facing down the very real possibility of having a room full of students with eyes rolling harder than you can ever imagine. We do the same thing with our colleagues. Do you dare be the first one to admit you don't know what to do with a particular student? Can you ask for help if you're struggling without feeling judged, even though you probably aren't? Will you take on a new role at school when you think it might be right for you, or even become a leader? No matter how close you might be with your coworkers, you can never quite know how they're going to react to change, and that can be a scary thing. Interactions with parents and administrators can be just as stressful. When you call home, you never really know what type of reaction you're going to get. Are you going to get support and a new ally, or are you going to become public enemy number one at that home? When there are new faces in the classroom, especially when they belong to your bosses, it can be hard to tell who is being monitored, the students or you. The first thing you usually notice when you get close to a waterfall, especially if it's set back in the woods a bit, is the sound. At first, it just sounds like running water like a stream, but then it becomes more broad and way deeper. This is when, if you're like me and my wife, you start to pick up the pace a little. As the noise all around you continues to rise, so does your excitement, and you start to get glimpses of your destination through the trees. When you finally see it, no matter how many other waterfalls you've seen, this is what it's all about. This is what you're here for. You don't just look at it, you explore it. You find different vantage points so you can see everything. You might get close enough to feel the mist from the falls, or you might even be bold enough to reach in and feel the cold water for yourself. At school, when you get an idea for something new, when do you know it's going to be good? How do you know it's going to work? How do you know when to put yourself out there? You probably don't at first, when it's just a rough outline or a vague plan or, no, it's stupid, just forget about it. If you choose to move forward, though, and that can be a big if, as the details get a little broader and deeper, and maybe after you run it past a trusted colleague or two, you might actually start getting excited about what you're doing or what you're creating. When you start to glimpse the final product in your mind, do you feel the need to keep moving even faster until you get there, until you can see it for yourself? And then, once you've explored your idea from every angle and tested it out for yourself, do you dare put it out there for everyone else to see? As teachers, we put ourselves out there all the time. We're pretty much on public display. And sure, we can stick to the lessons and procedures we're used to. But I know if you're going to have it your way, you're sometimes going to fall, flat on your face even. But I don't think you're moving too fast. Putting yourself out there at school can be scary. It might feel unnecessary and downright destructive. But trust me, the risks are worth the rewards. And you'll see it too every time you reach a waterfall. Thank you for listening to this episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and please do. I'd love to hear what you think about the show and any suggestions you might have. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more Lessons We Forgot, we post new episodes on Sunday nights. And when you like, rate, and subscribe to the show or leave a comment, that also helps the show reach new listeners. If you really hate ads like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot. For only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. I'm offering a free trial right now, so go check it out and see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.